Hi, my name is Rosie Gripton, and I'm a member of the band Towanda. We are a feminist punk rock band, and as such, are highly invested in matters of free speech, protest, and expression. In university, I was forbade by school officials from distributing buttons with various life-affirming slogans such as Riot Don't Diet as a fundraiser for a local women's shelter because they, according to these officials, condoned violence. This is a small example, but I'm familiar with the issues of free speech and censorship. Bill C-51 affects every artist that is so much as hyperbolic about a political cause because the definition of threats to security put forward in this bill is so loosely defined that the government has the right officially to suspect, spy, and investigate individuals that are, for the vast majority, not participating in a terrorist activity or threat, but rather are simply people doing things that could simply pose challenges to the exercise of government power, like protesting government projects such as the Keystone Pipeline with its huge environmental and economic impact upon the entire country. Under the new bill, one demonstration could qualify as, quote, interference with the capability of the Government of Canada in relation to the economic or financial stability of Canada. Without overly romanticizing civil disobedience, I cannot go without referencing the idea that one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, as I feel it is of particular relevance here. Dissent and radical thought, particularly when voiced by minorities, political and otherwise, this thought must always be seriously examined by those arbitrating society, not painted crudely with one brush as criminal, as this bill seeks to do. Bill C-51 further extends the arms of the state into the data and thus personal lives of Canadians, and as an artist I am concerned because mass surveillance creates a prison in the mind. Journalist Jeremy Nuttall reported that a recently convened Canadian Senate Committee on National Security could be summarized as finding that community outreach, rather than heavy-handed legislation, is the best way to prevent violent attacks from ideological radicals. The kind of legislation put forward by the Harper government takes Canada in a distinctly un-Canadian direction, which reflects a more totalitarian and dictatorial style of governance. In fact, the right to privacy, checks and balances, and a high level of accountability asked of police and intelligence institutions in Canada is what will keep us free as citizens. Bill C-51 degrades our fundamental rights as Canadians. Edward Snowden recently compared Bill C-51 to the United States Patriot Act, signed into law in October of 2001, which is now regarded widely as having been needlessly restrictive of speech and illegally vague. Rosa Luxemburg once said that those who do not move do not notice their chains. Well, music for me is a kind of activism that also keeps me moving, and I'm of the opinion that Bill C-51 should not pass.